Hi friend, this is Kaustav and today we are going to learn about a new topic of iOS, that is how to create a UITableView cell from XIB, not from the storyboard. Okay, so before I start, I'm going to apologize to you guys for a long gap which is almost 4 months. Uh, I have faced certain personal problem and because of that I am very badly impacted. So I recovered from that and hopefully going forwards trying my level best to deliver a particular tutorial every single week, and also try my level best to deliver rather more than one tutorial items on a week, but at least one tutorial for every single week so that you guys learning process should not be impacted. So let's no more talk, straight go to the tutorial session. So let's begin. So where we left on the last tutorial, that this is the table view I have created, and over here this is the output of that particular table view. Okay, so now why it's necessary to create a table view by using a UI table view cell using XIB? What is the advantage? Actually, on the case of storyboard, if you guys can remember that this is the table view and over here this is the table cell. Okay, over here we have set the class and over a identifier. The concept is, from the view controller we are asking the table view that to fetch a table view cell whose identifier is ABC. So the iOS what it did, like on the view controller scene, it's asked the table view to provide the table cell whose identifier is ABC and class is custom class table view cell. Okay, so that's mean if I create another view controller like this way, UI view controller, I am dragging it from here. Okay, so this is the another view controller. So if I place another view controller and place another UI table view, just like table view, from here I am setting 0000 and that's it. If you guys forgot about the IB outlet, here is the I button, click on it and just have a look on it. So on the table view we need to set this particular table cell again. So now what is the concern? Some guys may say that what is the problem if I set two table cells on the two different view controller. Now the problem arises when, say example, this particular label have a size of 17. Okay, now client asks to change its size to 15. So now one should correct this particular size to 15 on this particular view controller but forgot to change its size on this second view controller. So a bug raise. Okay, the uniformity of the code, the reusability of the code getting impacted. So to overcome this kind of situations, first create a group over here. Since before creating a group I am going to create two different class, because over here another scenario is like uh, the output what I have shown over here, this kind of screen, it's appeared on the two situations. One is the sign up screen, another one is the edit profile. Okay, so these two screens contain almost same kind of UI. Okay, so the reusability of the cell almost same. So on these two scenarios, we need to create two different view controllers. So first create two different view controller. First create new file. This is our first view controller. Don't create XIB since we are using the storyboard. First view controller created. Remove all unwanted line of code. Again create the second view controller. Second view controller the same way. This is the second view controller created, and the same way I am deleting the all unwanted code. Okay, so here it is. Now this group, this is the view controller, so I am providing its name as the first view controller cell. Okay, for the time being. give some meaningful name. Definitely, since it's a tutorial, so I am not concerning about the naming convention. So this is the first view controller, not first view controller, first view controller cell. Okay, now new file. From here set the subclass as UITableView cell, and over here first view controller table view cell. Over here check this particular xib. Okay, because we are going to use the xib. So over here the folder is right, group is right, target is also checked, that is fine, so create it. Okay, so the first view controller is created. As I mentioned previously, remove all unwanted code. Fine. Next, what we did, since it's a not demo about the how to use the table view cell, so I'm just copy pasting the all the code from the previous cell. So I'm just copy pasting from previous. So here is the code, and here is the cell, right? So I'm copy pasting it also. So here the cell is being pasted. So now remove the original cell. From here remove this custom class. From here remove this particular identifier. Okay, so now need to copy this particular cell class name and paste it over here on the class sections. Okay, now they have an understanding that, oh, okay, this particular view is actually nothing but a table view cell of this class. So you can see the label and the txt display all outlet is being connected already, so it's fine. It's not a tutorial about how I am going to create the table view, because you guys already know from the previous tutorial. If you don't know, then here is the I button, just click and have a look on it. I'm copy pasting from the previous class. So over here I'm copy pasting everything from the first view controller. This is first view controller, and this is for second view controller also, second view controller. Okay, and also need to update them in storyboard. So here is the table view. Okay, so the class is not set. We need to go over here, we need to type first view controller, and on the first view controller we need to set the table display. That's it, our job is done. Similar way we need to copy paste the same thing again. Let's paste over here. So we need to set this one as second view controller. Okay, so now if I also need to set one more thing, that is it is a initial view controller, this arrow. I hope you guys didn't forgot. So here is the arrow. So now if I click the run button, so it's actually instantiate the first view controller. So let's give it to run first. Though I know the app going to crash, but I am going to give you guys a glimpse of why it's crashing. Okay, data source delegate is also not connected, so that's why it did not load the table view. So we also need to set the data source and delegate. Similar way for second view controller, data source and delegate. Okay, now I give it to run. Now you guys can see the app is crashed. Okay, why this particular code is crashed? What is this written? UI table view cell, UI table view DQ reusable cell with identifier for index path using presentation value. Okay, terminating app due to uncaught exception in this internal inconsistency exception reason, unable to DQ a cell with identifier ABC. Okay, so that's mean the particular class didn't find a cell whose identifier is ABC. So what is the resolution I was providing? Must register a nib or a class for the identifier or connect a prototype cell in the storyboard. That's mean, since we are using the storyboard as a scene, so on the storyboard, on that particular specific view controller, have a prototype cell whose identifier is ABC, just like the previous tutorial. Else we need to register a nib. Now what is nib? Nib is nothing but a xib. Previously it was used as a nib, now it's changed to xib. So it's not possible for Apple to completely remove every appearance of nib from their code base. So over here the error message come to us as nib. So whenever you find nib in the error message, it's referring to a xib. Okay, so first must register a nib, that is a xib, or a class for the identifier. That's mean a UI table view cell must register first, then only we can execute the code. Okay, so now go back to the first view controller. Over here we need to provide date set. So what is this particular date set? Date set is nothing but whenever table view connection is established during the runtime and the view controller know, yeah, this is the table display, and its memory is allocated and assigned to that particular view controller, only then this particular date set is getting called. Okay, and when this particular table display is getting called, on that moment we can register a cell. Okay, so register, you can see there is a nib for cell reuse with identifier. Fine. So UI nib have also a constructor which contain two parameters, nib name and bundle, and there is the cell reuse identifier. So we are going to use this particular identifier. Fine. Now what is nib name I should provide? We are going to provide this particular cell name. Okay, because we are using this particular cell, so this is the cell. And what is the bundle? Bundle is nothing but in which this particular class is belong, this particular cell class is belong in which project. There might be multiple project on the on this particular, on that moment it's called workspace. So in which project it's belong. So in our case table English demo, so it's not required to mention like that way, since it's the main project and one and only project. So we can refer as a nib. On that moment it's by default fetch from the main bundle. Okay, so the registration is done. So what we did, table display registered a UI nib whose nib name is the first view controller. It's not referring to the class, it's actually referring to this particular cell. You can see this is the name. Okay, so here is the nib I have registered with a DQ identifier with ABC. Okay, so now whenever table view DQ of particular cell, on that moment it's DQ for from this particular uh, nib. Now again one problem persists. Now problem is whenever it's DQ, on that moment it trying to fetch a custom class table view cell which is a old code. So now we are using this particular table view cell, we need to replace it with this one. Okay, so the same problem arises for the second view controller. We are going to replace it again on the second view controller. This is for the second view controller and done. Now if I give it to run for the first view controller, since in this storyboard, if we go, here is the first view controller with initial entry point. So give it to run. So our project run, and here is the first view controller. It's running with same output, but this time it's loading from the xib. Similar way, if I change it to second view controller, initial entry point, now give it to run. So you can see here is also the same output. Now you guys may assume that class has some internally some manipulation did by my side. So I am changing it to 4, not the 8 cell for the second view controller. Okay, so now I give it to run once again. So you guys can see now this changed to only 4 row. Okay, not the entire 8 row. One more thing I want to add along with this, whenever a table view is being loaded, on that moment we might mention over here 100 row or 800 row or 1000 row, but only those rows which are going to display on the screen, only those rows memory getting allocated on the internally. Rest of the memory is not getting allocated. Only when uh, the rest of the row comes on the picture, on that moment those memory getting allocated. Or else if it is the same kind of visual appearance, so on that moment table view DQ reduced the same appearance of the cell by using some internal architecture or process, so that they are not going to deallocate the the row which is currently out of the screen. So they use that out of the screen rows memory again for the new coming row which coming from the bottom. Okay, so like this way table view work. So that's all for today's guys. If you guys like my content, so definitely don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you on the next tutorial with a new topic. Till then, have a nice day. Goodbye.